It's easy for us to criticise the ABC as they are funded by our taxpayer dollars. If they were just a private organisation funded by a handful of subscribers, then I probably wouldn't care what they do. But in the real world, according to the ABC's Corporate Plan 2024 to 25, under financial information, they are funded to undertake two principal activities. The first is to provide radio, television and digital media services, and the second is to manage the transmission and distribution of those services. All these numbers are in thousands, by the way. Each year, the ABC receives more than $1.2 billion in revenue, $1.3 billion in future years, of our taxpayer money. So I think it's our right as Australian taxpayers to critique our ABC. Sure, I accept that it's impossible for them to make everybody happy, but within this same document, they have Marc Fennell in Stuff the British Stole, basically framing British history as a terrible worldwide crime scene, Ginger and the Vegesaurs, subtly promoting vegetarianism to young children, Indigenous presenter Tony Armstrong's Extraordinary Things, where he rides his pushbike around Australia to learn about its untold history. We just have to suspend disbelief that he's not actually driving or catching a plane to get to these remote locations. An Indigenous girl at Garma 2024, Pacific Break fostering Pacific music's next generation, BTN High indoctrinating our children while they're at school, the Assembly, which follows around autistic student journalists. Everything is about identity over at our ABC. Normal no longer exists, apparently. Their first strategic pillar is prioritise the trust of their audiences. Specifically, we will include social responsibility goals such as diversity, inclusion and environmental sustainability in all aspects of our operations. We will put inclusion and diversity at the heart of everything we do. Unsurprisingly, they have a Diversity, Inclusion and Belonging Plan 2023 to 2026, where of course they have targets. 50% of executive roles filled by women, 8% of employees must have a disability, 3.4% Indigenous employees, 30% must be culturally and linguistically diverse. Actually, according to their latest figures, women are already overrepresented in executive roles at 55.4%, and already almost 13% of their workforce identifies as LGBT. I found this interesting. In very small writing, they state, "At the ABC, we recognise that gender is not binary, but the ABC is also required by the Equal Employment Opportunity Act to promote equal opportunity for women." Well, by their own statistics, they've failed. 55.4% of their employees are women, while only 44.1% are men. That's not representative of the real Australian population. Of course, they've got plenty of pictures of First Nations journalists and presenters, of course with their pronouns, just in case you can't tell. They've got people in wheelchairs and where they're working on corner land. And of course, people from different cultural backgrounds, she, her, working on Wurundjeri land of the Kulin Nation. None of us have any idea where they're working, but perhaps none of us care. They, them, ABC queer. One would think that identity is the only important thing over at the ABC. But just to rub your nose in it, they finish by stating that this is your ABC. This train wreck of a dumpster fire is all yours. The ABC stands against racism and discrimination. That's funny because in this report that I showed you yesterday, prepared by a group of Indigenous lawyer activists, they found, well, let me sum it up with one of their quotes, "The most racism I've experienced in my life has been at the ABC. Despite your taxpayer dollars being funneled into diversity and inclusion, they can't even keep their diverse employees happy. Money well spent, eh?" Many of these people complained about being seen as the diversity hire, that they're only there as a box-ticking exercise. Well, as I said before, if you have these ridiculous targets and quotas, being seen as the diversity hire is a guaranteed result. Nobody will know if you really achieved your position through hard work or just got there because you happened to be of the right cultural, social, or gender identity. But all this doesn't matter in the world of TV and radio, does it? What really matters? Ratings. If ratings are poor, television shows are axed, or networks go bust, right? Well, ordinarily. So how is the ABC faring? Well, here's the ABC Radio National Breakfast ratings for the last 3 years. In pretty much every capital city, ratings are trending downwards, by a lot. This is the Australian government's transparency portal showing the ABC's audience reach. This is their average weekly users for their digital content over the last 3 years. Overall, the ABC is down 23% of its users. Its news site is down 30%. Actually, pretty much everything is down except for their on-demand TV streaming service iView, which stayed steady, with the only increase in users occurring with their Kids Listen app, which increased 61%. Kids are a lot more forgiving, I assume. Their YouTube channel is down 6%, while their YouTube Kids channels are down 23%. Perhaps I was wrong about the kids being forgiving. They have a lot more data for radio reach, so the table goes off screen, but I'll paste the last couple of columns here. Again, nearly all their radio stations have suffered declines over the last few years. Only their digital audio has had a modest increase of 14% in listenership. Their radio websites are down by 14%. The ABC News on TV and digital is down by 20 or 30%. Similarly, their news video views are down pretty much across the board, with a massive decline of 54% in YouTube live views. Perhaps they're running less live segments. But either way, the writing is on the wall, is it not? Your ABC is burning to the ground.